States.
Oh. Okay. We just going in. Huge. She gave him the little wink. Okay. What channel you watching it? Fox has a nice close-up shot. This is the official White House channel. This is from the Presidente himself. Oh, they got the John Cena one? Oh my god, they even got a poll? Yeah, this is a better shot though. Hey, who's in charge of the White House production? Oh, they got him, never mind. Raw Fox. Crazy. Will that lady try to hug him and he said nah. Hey! We got the generals. People going ham. How'd they turn Congress into like a rally? Is that Bernie Sanders? Is that Bernie out there? He's clapping for himself. He's like, look at they're just sitting down like, oh man.
Thank you.
It's Ben Shapiro! Oh my god! What's Ben Shapiro doing there?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He's milking the shit out of this
Great
normally
honor. Thank you
boring
very
event.
much.
Oh, he's the
Speaker
content
Johnson,
president. He's
Vice
been
President
live every
Vance,
day.
the First Lady of the United States.
Oh, bro, they got up again. Look at half the other room. Half of the other room is not getting up there. You can tell who's who. That's funny. Look at that.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Woo! We back, boys! America's back! Let's go! Wait, how is America back? We back! What?
6 weeks ago,
That one guy
I
is
stood
hype.
beneath the dome of this Capitol
Yeah.
and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America.
The
From that
golden.
moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
It's only March. He's only been here for like 2 months. There's 3 years left of this. Oh my god, it's Elon Musk, and he's wearing a suit! You know that's funny, right? Elon Musk is gonna be wearing a suit all the time, pretty much.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it.
Never.
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
We're gonna be here for a while if they just keep getting up and clapping every time he said.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Yeah, the clapping is a lot, it is. There's heckling now. This is our Congress. It's a clown show. Let's go. Lol, this is so
In
childish.
counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Dude, they're so mad.
Now, for the
They're
first time
big
in
mad.
modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
This is the plan from Democrats to riot. AKA just booing. Really? Was that the big plan?
Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Who is that guy? I'm not sure. Some Democrat. If Fox was good, they would have like his name and stats and like a little bar that pops up. He's about to be booted. He is.
Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
He's probably from Hawaii.
Members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum. The chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
Oh, he's got a Sergeant-at-Arms.
From the chamber.
No way. Next one. He's like, get out of here.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job.
They got quiet real quick, huh? They got quiet real quick. See, that's what happens when there's consequences. You know? Yeah.
In fact, it has been stated by many.
We ain't ever finishing this. They gotta relax with the clapping. Oh, we're not.
Our presidency.
Bro, they gotta clap every 5 minutes.
In the history of our nation.
My bet this is gonna be at least an hour long.
By many.
Maybe 2. I don't even know what he said. That's a lie.
What's even more impressive is that
See, she knows how to
number 2
protest.
is
That was
George
funny.
Washington. How about that?
She's holding a whiteboard that says that's a lie.
I don't
That's
know about
good.
that list, but
See, that's
we'll
good.
take it.
That's funny.
Within
Who is
hours
she?
of
Yeah.
taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
Again, they're getting up. I want to see the lady with the whiteboard. Is she saying that's a lie?
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there are hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month. And virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and
He said
people
the
from mental
worst.
institutions and insane asylums
Don't throw shade.
were released
The shade.
into our country. Who would want to do that? This
Oh my
is my
God.
5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease.
True.
A
This is
disease
actually
that
true.
would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history.
They could, but
or
if
the
Trump got
stoppage
it,
of crime
it's
to the
wrong.
lowest levels ever
That's
recorded.
real, though. I do
And
believe
these
that.
people sitting right here will not clap,
Musk
will
steals.
not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad.
Of course, she's got purple hair.
And it just shouldn't be this way. So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
This Nancy Pelosi, bro. Oh my god, that's funny. She's stolen so much money, it's crazy. Oh my
Every day
god.
my administration is fighting
Bro,
to
she looks like
deliver
she's about to cry.
change America
Yeah,
needs
haven't you
to
seen the stock
bring a
market?
future that America
Yeah, she's
deserves.
crying.
We're
I mean,
doing
she's
it.
probably made more money.
This is
Let's
a
be real.
time for big
Nancy
dreams
Pelosi.
and bold action.
Yeah.
Upon taking office,
Yeah,
I
she's
imposed
sold already,
an
but
immediate freeze on
she's
all
probably crying
federal
about how much
hiring,
money she
a
made.
freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Hey. Foreign aid freeze. What?
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars.
Trillions.
Other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
Oh my god.
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They
Oh,
will
yeah.
either
Oh,
show
we
up
good.
for work in person or be removed from their job.
They were so mad about that. They were so mad about that. Oh my god. Trump was right about everything, hat. Oh my.
And we have ended weaponized government.
$15
where, as an
hat.
example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
Oh my god. I mean, they can say false all they want, but he's
Government
president.
censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
America's back, baby.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
Official, baby. Haven't they done this before though? I could have sworn. He did, yeah.
Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America.
He signed so many that it's hard to keep track of them.
And likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country...
I like how they highlight her.
No longer.
Oh my god. That's funny. No, she's very divisive. I believe, I forget her name, is Imani? She's the one promoting a lot of their immigrants coming in. Also promoting their native language and religion. I believe she also said assimilation is not necessary in America. But don't quote me on that one.
Based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Yeah, but Congress went against that, though. What happened with that?
Years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding. And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Who is she? Why do they keep putting her up there? Oh, there's Nancy Pelosi.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up
He's calling
grocery
him out.
costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Make America affordable again. Ma!
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
There's no way.
And we're working hard to get it back down.
He's
Secretary,
calling up
do a good
Biden
job
for
on
the
that.
eggs.
You inherited a total mess from the previous administration.
Oh my God.
Do a good job.
That's just a lie. It is. The chickens got
A
sick.
major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly
got nothing to do
reducing
with
the cost
inflation.
of energy. The previous administration cut the number
It's
of
just
new
America
oil and
doesn't
gas
test for
stations
these
by
things.
95%.
And then they just got
slowed
sick.
pipeline construction to a halt and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Okay. We're making our own power?
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far.
Liquid
and
gold.
now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
There's no way he named the team Drill, Baby Drill.
My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take
Permits already
action
gotten.
to
Whoa.
dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
What permit? Basically to run the pipes, all the conservation permits, EPA permits, and all that.
Further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but we'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
How though? How?
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. GOG. Perhaps you've heard of it.
I don't think a federal mandate requires zoning permits. Yeah, but zoning permits aren't the only permits. Hazardous material permits, hazardous material transportation permits, all from the EPA. Zoning, surveyor permits to survey the land for creatures that need to be kept alive, whatever. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that they probably have to jump to. Oh, she's just on her phone. She's playing Candy Crush. That they probably just sped rush through them, you know?
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this.
What's funny is Elon's wearing a suit now.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million
Burma?
to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+
Bruh.
in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
Lesotho?
$60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program.
The Iraqi
for a program.
Sesame Street.
$1.9 billion to
Oh my
recently
God.
created decarbonization of homes committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia.
$1 billion.
$14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation
Vegan.
in Zambia.
Vegan.
$42 million
He said vegan.
for social and behavior
Because he thought it was
change in
Vegas.
Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing.
Oh my
Use it
God.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever
Oh my
paid.
God.
Nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it.
The
We found
wizards.
hundreds of
The
billions of
wizards with
dollars.
Elon. He's like, should I stand up? He's like, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand up. He's like, oh man. He's like, hi guys.
And we've taken back the money and reduced
He
the
wanted
debt
the
to
ovation.
fight
He did.
inflation and
You
other
saw him
things.
think about it. He was like,
Taking back a lot of that money. We
I'm
got
gonna
it just
stand
in
up.
time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists
He said
3.6
false.
million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million
He's
people
looking
from
at the
ages
he's looking at the
130 to
Democrats. He's like, hey,
139.
y'all listening to this?
3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old.
Damn.
We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
All right, I mean, if this is real, though, if that statistics are real, he's right. I don't know why the Democrats are angry about that. Like, if that's real, that's scary.
To finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
There's a lot of clapping still. Yeah, how long has it been? Can you tell us?
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
Damn. Balancing the budget. Why are the Democrats not happy with that? They should, I get, like, they don't like him, but shouldn't they want a balanced budget?
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million,
yep,
we will allow the most successful
resident card
creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came.
No way. Yeah, we already talked about it in depth.
Tax, create jobs.
There's already a program, a pay-to-play green card. It already existed. You only had to pay like 50 grand though.
Number one at the top school, as an example, being forced out, and
yeah, he just changed the rules and made it so you have to pay $5 billion.
Of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Crazy.
Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk-takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get.
Bureaucracy, bro.
Take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
They said.
federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately.
Hey, yo.
Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Based.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in
Should have
there,
panned to
waiting for you
Nancy.
vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board.
They're getting a workout standing up and down. They all are.
Especially hard by inflation.
They really are.
I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
No tax on overtime? No tax on Social Security, and he just told them good luck.
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
Your car payment is deductible, so I can go buy a new Corvette. That is a W.
In the auto industry, like nobody's ever seen. Plants.
Yeah, screw the R8.
Deals are being made.
I gotta buy me a new Corvette.
It's a combination of the election win and tariffs.
It's tax deductible.
It's a beautiful word.
It's a win-win.
That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that
he said
they
interest
will be building
payment?
massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest.
Honda's coming back to America? From Canada? Based.
And this has taken place since our great victory.
Honda also made an offer to buy
which
Nissan,
will hopefully go down as one of the
or
most
partner with
important in the
Nissan,
history of our country.
to make the new car manufacturer called Honda.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
But it's only been 2 months.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration,
I mean, it's only been like a month and a half,
and
technically.
in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher.
Wow.
And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea. But that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States. It never was.
He's
and
exposing.
So April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market.
That's true. China, India,
trillions and trillions of dollars
like Thailand,
like we have never seen
it's impossible
before.
to get in there. The price is too ridiculous.
China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
I mean, the UK and the Europe doesn't buy a lot of American cars either. Same with Japan.
Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer.
Okay.
Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election.
Oh, it's only been a few weeks. That's crazy.
People of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple
announced 200, yeah.
$500 billion investment.
I thought it was 200.
Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth
in
right
Texas.
Here in the USA.
Yeah, Texas is getting that expansion. That's crazy.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will go because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Damn. He just pops off. He's just like, you know what? You should cancel that, y'all.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
I love the farmer.
Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting.
No.
They come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will.
He's talking about our
agricultural product coming into
the
America.
avocados.
Our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too.
He said have a lot of fun.
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama, Jeff Denard.
He's like,
I've been working at the same
like,
steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Based, Jeff, based.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
He said thank you. Now sit down, Jeff.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance. We're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much, and I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
She's like, what?
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much.
Did they actually clap at that finally?
And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. No one. That's great. Thank you very much.
He
to the
said
Senate.
that's great.
But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to.
Oh, man. They stand it up again.
A brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel.
Damn.
With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
There we go. Some Democrats are clapping. Even one lady stood up.
The Laken Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
Damn. That sucks.
Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Ever. Oh, it looks like they got tired of holding up signs.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Look at Vance's smile, bro. He was like, yeah! Oh my god.
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America.
The great liberation, bro.
But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago,
The Gulf
I
of
formally
America.
renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Damn. He's good. He's good. He's even hitting people's feels. That's crazy. It's not enough, though. You can see it in her
Thank
face.
you very much. All
That
3
sucks.
savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2
Yeah,
weeks
it's not
ago, I
enough, though.
officially
That
designated
sucks.
this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
There it is. Got him. So that's still up in the air how that's gonna play out.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed
ISIS just
into
took
the
over
US
Afghanistan.
by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly
Oh, no, that was the
removed from our
Taliban.
country, or if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy.
Hey.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them. Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and
Oh, he put in work.
for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
It's a lot of standing ovations.
Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Damn. He said he's gonna get strict.
Five nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy.
What? Is that real?
But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs.
The cartels must be getting in the way of Trump's vision to take over the North American continent.
I have sent Congress a detailed
well, yeah, they are.
Exactly how we will eliminate these threats.
Because I mean, if you don't know about the Pemex incident that happened in the 90s and 80s, first they came for Canada, now they are in the Mexicans. This was from the beginning. Yeah, he said he was going to make calls on them since the beginning.
This funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you.
Yeah, but they didn't think that they were actually going to be called terrorists.
Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And
but now that they're labeled terrorists,
it so fast,
it's open for military conflict.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Law and order. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi. Good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash.
He's like, fuck.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people. And
They are.
I'll never forget them.
Big props to fire
And
people.
besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
They're standing up so many times.
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer
This-
Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island.
More importantly, they voted for me.
The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in D.C.
21
next to
prior
him
arrests.
had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them.
His name was
attended
Killer.
Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
These Congress meetings are crazier than I thought.
We're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Hey, wait, hold on. Is there some stipulations there? What if you're defending yourself from a cop trying to murder you?
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers.
That
so
sounds
they
bad.
can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
DJ Daniel. How about the death penalty going both ways? Well, no, sometimes a cop, citizens or police killing citizens. Well, no, because then what if, like, a citizen's attacking you? Even though, like, on film, you know, like, if you got it on video, it's still murder.
With brain cancer.
That law doesn't sound right.
To live.
He's got brain
That
cancer.
was more than 6 years ago.
Oh, what? He said, what? Kid looks 60 and 10 at the same time. Are the Democrats finally clapping at something? Are they not clapping at the kid? Hello.
Since that time, DJ
Morning. Hi,
been
Suchi.
on a quest to make
Hello.
his dream come true, and
Happy
DJ
Tuesday.
has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you
No
the
way.
agent of the United States Secret Service.
He's like, what? Wow. Bro's getting all the promotions. Yeah. Man, a career officer must be like, and I've been trying to get through the Secret Service for years. Nutty.
Thank you, DJ.
Did the
DJ's
Democrats finally
doctors
clap for
believe his
that?
cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%.
Oh, here's the Maha.
Reversing this trend is one of
Nutty.
the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
That's crazy. The Kennedys are back. Oh, man.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been.
Yeah, you would.
How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply.
That
and
side
keep
is the
our children
Democrats.
healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in
Trump is
10,000
savage.
children had autism.
He calls it like
1
it
in
is.
10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
When are we gonna get sodas and Cokes with real cane sugar? When are they gonna make corn syrup illegal? That's what I'm waiting for.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The lady in the back is not happy. The lady in the back, she's like, her? Look at her.
Thank you.
That old lady's
Stories
like...
like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Oh, bro, they stand it up again. Oh. We needed a stand-up counter at this point.
Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body.
They getting that cardio in, bro.
And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
Base. Base. Okay, the Democrats have to clap at that one, right? Like, no matter how you were made.
Out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better?
They're gonna stand up again. They're ramping up. He's ready. Look at him.
Service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference.
He's like, no, the dude's like, that dude in the front's like, yeah, it's crazy. We get a lot of people.
And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit.
We couldn't get people to
Now
sign up, save their lives.
Just about that we've ever had.
Hi, G, non-president. Hi, M, non-president.
People love our country again.
How are you doing today?
They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job.
We're watching the president's speech. He's addressing Congress. For the oh, look, Bernie's not very happy. Yeah, half of the room's not very happy.
Call of Duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was.
Is Bernie ever happy?
Now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in
that
high
one
school,
moment when you thought the
letter
Democratic
of
Party was
Seattle,
actually going to let him run for
a
president.
brilliant student with
He was happy right then.
4.46, that's good, GPA.
And then they yoinked it under him and
his
put Hillary.
His dream is to attend the
That's when he
US
was happy.
Military Academy at West Point.
When he's on that dank green. Crazy.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
This is the wildest Congress presentation ever. We're getting shout outs. We're getting laws. The sick kid got made a secret agent, DJ. There's a secret agent. He just gave him a high five. Oh my God.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland.
Golden Dome.
In the USA.
Not an Iron Dome, but a Golden Dome.
And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens.
A dome? Yes, like Israel's Iron Dome, missile defense.
We are also going to resurrect the American.
It's got tracking everywhere to shoot down incoming missiles.
And military shipbuilding.
Yep. Except he wants to call it the Golden Dome.
And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships.
Wait,
We
we're
don't
building
make them anymore
ships?
very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon.
Wait, I thought Europe
Of a
built our
huge
ships.
impact. To further enhance our national security,
No,
the
like the Vegas
administration will be
Dome,
reclaiming
Vegas
the
domestic
Panama Canal,
everywhere.
and we've already started doing it.
That's crazy.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die.
That's quite a
Most
high
expensive
chance.
project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been
The
violated
$1
severely.
Carter.
We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
So we taking it back. I think he's tired of standing up. I think he is. He's like, all right, bro. I've stood up
And we have
97
Marco
times.
Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's
Florida.
respected by everybody, and we appreciate your vote.
Our Florida boy?
He's gonna
Is
do a fantastic
that your
job.
boy?
Thank you. Thank you.
That your boy over there?
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, they're saying he's putting in work.
Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. I
No.
strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America.
No
We need
way.
Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're
51st state
working with everybody
Greenland.
involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
No way.
We will keep you safe. We will make you rich. and
They're gonna
together
clip that so
we will
bad.
Take Greenland to heights like you
Oh,
have
they're
never
gonna
thought
clip
possible
that.
before. It's a very small
It's gonna say
population,
Trump declares war on Greenland.
large piece of land, and very, very important for
This man,
military security.
he's good, bro.
America is
He's
once
good.
again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism.
They took a
3.5 years
poll,
ago,
and I think like
ISIS terrorists killed
15 to
13
20% of
American
Greenland
service
is all right with
and
switching over.
countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal
my
from
God.
Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew.
Mm.
Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Damn. All right, the Democrats should be happy for that, right? Yeah, some of them are clapping. Most of them are on their phone watching YouTube or Netflix.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was.
Oh,
Should have never happened.
he's free balling.
Incompetent people.
When he's not
I spoke
reading.
to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term,
I'm pretty sure 95% of this is unscripted.
In generations,
most of them
Abraham
are.
Accords.
This one is actually about 90% scripted. You can see when he's reading and not reading. Like, I'm starting to learn, like, when he's going free balling and when he's going off the cuff. If he's looking at that hard angle right there, like right there, he's looking at one of those whatchamacallit, screens that has what he's reading from on either side. But if he looks straight and is just talking to the camera, he's yapping. That's when the good stuff's gonna come out.
Ukraine and Russia, but a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Pocahontas says yes. Yeah, because she said she's Native American.
People are being killed every single week. More than that.
He called her
They're
Pocahontas.
Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine.
Oh my God.
Think of that.
This is our
They spend
president.
more buying Russian oil and gas
Bro,
than they have.
It's been a month and a half.
And we've spent
There's
perhaps
4 years
$50
left.
billion
There's still 4
like
years left.
taking candy from a baby. That's what happened.
It's been a month
they've
and a
spent
half.
$100 billion. What a difference that is. And
Is that
have
racist?
an ocean separating us, and they don't.
Well, he's making fun of
We're
her
getting along
that she
very well
claims
with
she's
them.
Native
Lots of
American.
good things are happening.
You know, but he's
Biden
like,
has
she's not
authorized
Native.
more money
If,
in
if
this
she's
fight
Native,
than
then I'm freaking blah blah blah. You know?
Europe has spent by
So he calls her
billions and
Pocahontas.
billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
He's like, hey, don't clap at that. We're supposed to be supporting Ukraine.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Oh, man.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
Wild. That's the craziest Congress speech ever. Is it me, or do I not remember any of them being this hype? Am I tripping? He's so happy. He's like, hey.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people.
Damn.
My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee.
Well,
Thank you.
damn.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington,
Bro, how long is he gonna go?
to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the
Oh my
Delaware,
God.
to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk, to the astronauts
I think it's
who
been like
touched
2
the
hours,
moon.
right?
Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased
The Oregon
our
Trail.
destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel.
China? Okay.
We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won
Gonna
and
say.
built the modern age. These
I feel like
workers
China
who
is still
poured
communist.
their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere
So
in the
is
world.
Vietnam and
We are
Cuba
going
and
to conquer
Korea.
the vast
Is
frontiers of
Vietnam still
science, and
communist?
we're going to
Is it
lead
really?
humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond. And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
Oh, he's ramping up. Yeah, he seems to be ramping up. She's so excited. She's so excited in the back.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
The Republicans are rushing out of there. How is Nancy Pelosi still there, man? That's so crazy. I mean, I think we know how, but like, that's crazy. Oh, the Democrats don't even want to talk to him? Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Great job. Thank you. Great honor. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Andrew Kraft here now in the anchor chair with some of the recap of what we just heard for a little over an hour and 40
Is that Mad Dog
minutes.
Mattis?
President Trump touching.
Is Mattis still in
so
charge
many
of? Is he still the
focal
general
points that you have heard
of the
him
Marine Corps?
discuss throughout the last 43 days, including tariffs.
Mattis isn't in
including the
charge,
illegal
right?
immigration crisis, including crime, including the wars between Israel and Hamas and Russia and Ukraine, and so many of these issues that we have heard from President Trump and candidate Trump as well.
Eric
You see him
M?
there greeting members of the Supreme Court.
Is that Mattis?
Members of his cabinet, senators as well as
Oh,
he
Eric
makes his
M.
way
Smith.
out of the
Oh, that's not
chamber
Mattis, is
there.
it?
We're going to keep this shot up because we have joining us now my colleague Austin Westfall here in the Live Now newsroom and our friend there at 24 Site News, Tom Lobianco, who helped
Yeah,
us
Mattis was
get
crazy.
through the 2024 campaign season.
Amazing! What a time to be
Bring
alive.
down the audio there on the House
This is
floor.
crazy.
I'm gonna ask Tom this first. You know, Tom, a lot
So
of
so
these
much
decisions,
content from this president.
sometimes they're about
Shout outs, laws being signed. They signed a sanctuary for that one lady's daughter that got killed.
Antics, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because you can make the argument that this was somewhat of a cookie cutter Trump speech. We've heard him say a lot of these things before.
Yeah, this is stuff he said before, stuff that he's been running on, and stuff that he's hammering home. You know.
I'm talking about Al Green, the Democrat of Texas, who was escorted out of the chamber by the sergeant at arms.
Oh, that was a Texas Democrat? Probably San Antonio.
Favor at all. You and I have discussed so much.
Yeah, probably San Antonio.
Right now is in trouble, is in question. Did they do themselves any favors with that tonight, Tom?
Well, remains to be seen, especially with Al Green. Remember that Al Green back in 2017
Truly
was
based.
the first member of Congress to file.
That sanctuary is pretty cool, though. Means her daughter will live on. True. Her face totally said there wasn't enough. She would rather have her daughter, but that's really cool, you know.
A couple years ago,
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Her face literally was like, thanks, but it's just, like that won't bring her back kind of feeling, you know.
I think that really
And that hurts. That sucks, you know. I actually felt for her, man. I felt for that lady.
I mean, this was, an escalation.
Yeah.
Escalation of the polarization.
But that's really cool, though. I don't think I've heard of presidents doing that, at least live. Right? You hear about things are dedicated, but you don't get to see them like this.
Basically a State of the Union speech.
Tom, there were a few moments, though, and I have been covering and following these types of speeches for a long time, that I have never seen before. One was the president signing, or at least showing, a signed executive order to the audience before him. Hadn't seen that before. But also, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I know you're a student of history, had never seen before the Speaker of the House gavel the chamber into order, or at least try to, pausing the president's speech. I mean, that was very, very different.
Well, it's because they're on his
I
side
mean,
this
look,
time.
the escalation all around here is remarkable. I'm pretty sure that was Malin Stansberry who was holding up that sign as he walked in that said, "This is not normal." He's on the House Doge subcommittee, the House Oversight Committee. She used to be in the Obama White House as a budget staffer. I mean, there's so many
That's
facets of
crazy.
this that were heightened, increased over, what we've seen before. And I think you also have to take that in context of what the first month and a half have been like.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Everything that was stated inside the room, there was a lot that was not talked about. You heard the Democrats yelling about the January 6th convention.
Overall, that was pretty good, man. Like I said, that was to be expected.
Pardoned
Banger, I think.
repeatedly. So
Oh, she was so excited. I'm glad she got her picture in the red dress. She was so excited. She was like, fight, fight, fight.
There's a government shutdown potential. These are all the folks that are going to have to vote on that before March 14th.
Yeah, but why are they shutting down the government, though, right?
9-10 days from now. So, I mean, the tensions
That's
are
crazy.
incredibly high.
Yeah, and we see the president there about to exit the House chamber right now. We're going to keep these shots up. Remember, we're getting a Democratic rebuttal very, very soon here from Michigan Democratic Senator, the freshman Alyssa Slotkin. So bear with us here. If you are watching, just want to come on camera to introduce.
Yeah, but nobody cares what the Democratic leader dude has to say. I'm going to be real. Anybody here care what the Democratic rebuttal is? The Trump speech? Actually, no. 300,000 people already left the Fox stream.
I like to ask this question in kind of a political science 101 perspective with things. What's the point?
Of course, you're interested. That sounds juicy as fuck.
But what is the point of a speech to a joint session of Congress? And do we think
Dude,
Trump achieved it today?
is it wrong to
Well,
me
and,
to
you know,
think
you
that
have
it's
to
not going to be juicy?
Look at it, standing back from the partisanship of everything. Clearly he is the P.T. Barnum of this moment in American politics. I mean,
Hey, look, there's Ted Cruz.
the guests.
There he is. Look at him.
Of the guests, Lake and Riley, the family throughout, recognizing her
Depends what
family,
it's about.
the convertories.
I don't know.
From Butler,
I feel like it's going to
Pennsylvania,
be nonsense yapping because they got to defend all their points. The problem I personally think with the Democrats right now, they are so lost in like identity politics. The whole LGBTQ thing. They're so like lost and deep in that right now that it's hard to make a valid point on proper stances. At least that's my opinion. I'll get Monster Hunter started in the background and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go potty real quick. I should finish Monster Hunter today.
And here he is using it incredibly effectively. And now, the thing I'm going to be watching for is how many people tuned in. All right. I saw live now numbers look great. It's like election night.
Bro, he's making his speech, I think. And nobody's listening to him.
How much of America tuned
Y'all see
in
that?
for this?
He's
How
talking
much
to the
does it
mic, guys.
resonate? And for the opposition here, for the minority party, for the Democrats, did any of their tactics work as well?
And ultimately, Tom,
Oh, this is
what
over
we're gonna
already?
be waiting for next year is the Democrats'
yep.
official response. So you say that, and we are going to.
I don't know if
hearing
that's
from the
him. They
Democrats
said
in
it was a
moment here.
girl. Oh, they said it was a
If I may ask the same
girl.
question, what's going to be the point of a Democratic rebuttal, and how are they going to be How are they going to be able to accomplish their goal?
Yeah, Democrats really have to chart a way forward.
They can't. Nobody. The thing is that a lot of. I think this is how I look at it. I feel like the Democrats don't really have a lot of support. I feel like they don't have a lot of support. Because they're just so focused on the wrong things. And people are ramping up behind a lot of the things that Trump has done. Now, this tariff thing is making people a little nervous. Yeah, I think this is going to be probably the rockiest moment in his presidency. Now, of course, this is the presidency that's only been a month and a half. So the rockiest in a month and a half. It's quite a crazy statement. You can get a free Fantasia on 14. Oh, of course, now I can get a free Fantasia. How do I get a free Fantasia? Do I just gotta log in? Better be something not crazy. Yep. Yep, and I think I've paid my last sub for Final Fantasy ever. I believe by the time my house sells, we should be solid. Should be solid. 125 million, I think. There is a Moogle and Old Gridania. Oh, really? Talk to them and boom. Damn. And you never did Endwalker. That's true. You know, that's true. I didn't finish T. You know, T was actually more important to me than Endwalker. Because Shadowbringers, in my opinion, and what a lot of people said, was like the pinnacle of Final Fantasy. And it was so good. The story was hyper emotional, very fucking on point. And then I feel like they started drifting off. Endwalker was supposed to be like, bam, really good, but not as good as Shadowbringer. And then the story restarts with the new thing, and then that's kind of where it falls off, to be honest, in my opinion.
Will never be forgotten. Justice for Jocelyn.
So yeah.
If you weren't aware, what happened there during
I think
did rename the wildlife
we'll see.
There that was
it's funny how he's talking smack about Endwalker. No one's talking smack. Just saying, if you rate like the most impactful expansions, everyone talks about how Shadowbringer was the banger.
Oh, personally, if you've never heard of me, I'm the new senator from the great state of Michigan.
Don't even know who you are.
I've been in public service my entire life.
That's your girl, dude.
Because I happened to be in New York City on 9/11 when the Twin Towers came down. Before the smoke cleared, I knew I wanted to make a life in national security. I was recruited by the CIA and
She's
did
the
3
rebuttal.
tours in Iraq alongside the military. In between, I worked at the White House under President Bush and President Obama, 2 very different leaders who both believed that America is exceptional. You can find that same sense of patriotism here in Wyandotte, Michigan, where I'm speaking from tonight. It's a working class town just south of Detroit. President Trump and I both won here in November. It might not seem like it, but plenty of places like this still exist across the United States. Places where people believe that if you work hard and play by the rules, you should do well and your kids should do better. It reminds me of how I grew up. My dad was a lifelong Republican, my mom a lifelong Democrat. But it was never a big deal because we had shared values that were bigger than any one party.
Okay.
We just went through another fraught election season. Americans made it clear that prices are too high and that the government needs to be more responsive to their needs.
Yes, and they voted
America
your
wants
party
change,
out. Very true.
But there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way. And we can make that change without forgetting who we are as a country and as a democracy.
How?
So
Perfect.
that's what I'm going to lay out tonight.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Because whether you're from Wyandotte or Wichita, most Americans share 3 core beliefs.
Okay.
That the middle class is the engine of our country, that strong national security protects us from harm, and that our democracy, no matter how messy, is unparalleled and worth fighting for. Let's start with the economy.
Okay, let's hear
Michigan
it.
literally invented the middle class. The revolutionary idea that you could work at an auto plant and afford the car you were building.
Yes.
That's the American dream. And in order to
And
expand
you guys
protect the
closed
middle
all of
class,
those plants.
we have to do a few basic things.
Yes.
We need to bring down the price of things we spend the most money on. Groceries.
I don't know about the
housing,
engine,
healthcare.
but it's nice to have a middle
We need
class.
to make more things in America
It is.
with good-paying union jobs and bring our supply chains back home from places like China.
Why union jobs?
We need to give American businesses the certainty they need to invest and create the jobs of the future.
That's what Trump's
And we
been
need
doing,
a tax system
lowering the
that's fair for
taxes.
people who don't happen to make $1 billion.
Yes.
Look, the president talked a big game on the economy, but it's always important to read the fine print.
Okay.
So, do
Union
this
jobs,
plan
aka
actually help
communism?
Americans get ahead? Not even close. President Trump
How?
is trying to deliver an unprecedented giveaway to his billionaire friends. He's on the hunt to find trillions of dollars to pass along to the wealthiest in America.
Yes,
And
but
to do
every
that,
other leader
he's
has
going to
done
make
that.
You pay
What's
in every
new?
part of your life.
You know.
Grocery and home prices are going up, not down. and he hasn't laid out a credible plan to deal with either of those. His tariffs on allies like Canada will raise prices on energy, lumber, and cars, and start a trade war that will hurt manufacturing and farmers.
Okay.
Your premiums and
That's real.
prescriptions will cost more because the math on his proposals doesn't work without going after your health care. Meanwhile, for those keeping score, the national debt is going up, not down. And if he's not careful, he could walk us right into a recession. And one more thing. In order to pay for his plan,
And what
he
was
could very
Biden
well come after your retirement.
and Kamala gonna
the
do?
Social Security,
Oh,
Medicare, and VA benefits.
She's
you worked your
threatening
whole life to
Social
earn.
Security, bro.
The president claims he won't, but Elon Musk just called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
It was. Look at
While
how
I'm
many
subject
people
to
over
Elon Musk,
100 are
is there
collecting
anyone
Social
in
Security.
America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns,
Yes.
your health information,
Yes,
and
I
your
am.
bank accounts?
100% comfortable.
No oversight.
Let
no
big balls
protections
search up
against cyber
everything.
attack,
Give big
no
balls access to
guardrails
everything. Sign me up.
on what they do with your private data.
Yeah.
We need a more efficient government.
Let
You
big
wanna
balls
cut
in.
Waste? I'll help you do it.
No, you
But
won't.
change
You
doesn't
guys
need to
haven't
be
done it.
chaotic or make us less safe.
No one's done it until
The
now.
mindless firing of people who work to protect our nuclear weapons, keep our planes from crashing, and conduct the research that finds the cure for cancer, only to rehire them 2 days later. No CEO in America could do that without being summarily fired. Okay, so we've talked about economic security. How about national security?
Okay.
Let's start with the border. As someone who spent my whole career protecting our homeland, every country deserves to know who and what is coming across its border. Period.
True.
Democrats and Republicans should all be for that. But securing the border without actually fixing our broken immigration system is dealing with the symptom and not the disease. America is a nation of immigrants.
So do we just let 'em
need
in?
A functional system keyed to the needs of our economy that allows vetted people to come and work here legally.
Perfect.
So I look forward to the president's plan on that.
Same. And I look forward
Because
to
here's the
like
thing. Today's
how
world
come they
is
haven't
deeply
made this system
interconnected.
in the last 30 years?
Migration, cyber threats, AI,
As someone who
environmental
came in on
disruption,
asylum, I'm
terrorism.
asking.
One nation cannot face these issues alone. We
So
need
tell
friends
us how
in
you're
all
gonna fix it
corners,
exactly.
and
Tell
our
me. I'm here
safety
for it.
Depends on it. President Trump loves to say peace through strength.
Yes.
That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan. But let me tell you, after the spectacle that just took place in the Oval Office last week, Reagan must be rolling in his grave. We all want an end to the war in Ukraine, but Reagan understood that true strength required America to combine our military and economic might.
Yeah,
with
Reagan was
moral
also in
clarity.
charge of Reaganomics.
And that scene in the Oval Office wasn't
So-
just a bad episode of reality TV.
No,
It
that was
summed up
great.
Trump's whole approach to the world.
Yeah, we got to see
He
behind the
believes in
curtain.
Posing up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions.
True.
As a Cold War kid, I'm thankful it was Reagan and not Trump in office in the 1980s. Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly doesn't think we should lead the world. Look, America is not perfect, but I stand with the majority of Americans who believe we are still exceptional, unparalleled. And I would rather have American leadership over Chinese or Russian leadership any day of the week. Because for generations, America has offered something better.
The Cold War wasn't a
Our
war, it was a
security and our
conflict.
prosperity,
Exactly.
yes, but our democracy,
It wasn't an
our very
actual
system of
war.
government, has been the aspiration of the world. And right now, it's at risk. It's at risk when the president decides you can pick and choose what rules you want to follow, when he ignores court orders and the Constitution itself, or when elected leaders stand by and just let it happen. But it's also at risk when the president pits Americans against each other, when he
No,
demonizes those
a
who are
lot of
different
people are
and tells
supporting.
certain people they shouldn't be included.
I'm different.
Because America
And I'm
is
for
not
it.
just a patch of land between two oceans. We are more than that. Generations have fought and died
It was
to
two
secure the
dudes
fundamental
doing
rights
dick
that
measuring
define us.
contest. It's like every
Those
war.
rights and the fight for them
Every
make
war.
us who we are.
It's just who's got
We're
the
a nation
bigger
of
one.
strivers, risk takers, innovators, and we are never satisfied. That is America's superpower. And look, I've lived and worked in many countries. I've seen democracies flicker out.
Okay.
I've seen what life is like when a government is rigged. You can't open a business without paying off a corrupt official. You can't
Mexico.
criticize the guys in charge without getting a knock at the door in the middle of the night.
That's happened in Mexico.
So as much as we need to make our government more responsive to our lives today, don't for one moment fool yourself that democracy isn't precious and worth saving. But how do we actually do that? I know a lot of you have been asking that question.
We technically started when
First,
we nuked
don't tune
Japan
out.
twice.
It's easy to be exhausted.
We don't talk about that,
But
right?
America needs you now more
That's
than
where
ever.
anime came from.
If previous generations had not fought for this democracy, where would we be today? Second, hold your elected officials, including me, accountable. Watch how they're voting. Go to town halls and demand they take action. That's as American as apple pie. Third, organize. Pick just one issue you're passionate about and engage.
That's true.
And doom scrolling doesn't count.
Yes.
Join a group
Sharing
that
on
cares
Twitter
about your
doesn't
issue
count.
and act.
Actual
And if
making
you can't
moves.
find one, start one. Some of the most important movements in our history
Does
have
that
come from the
part that
bottom up.
signed an executive order with Byron
In closing,
censoring certain terms
We
in the
all
White
know
House?
that our country is going through something right now.
Oh
We're
my
not
God.
sure what the next day is going to hold, let alone the next decade. But this isn't the first time we've experienced significant and tumultuous change as a country. I'm a student of history, and we've gone through periods of political instability before. And
Instability?
ultimately, we've chosen to keep changing
I'd
this
say
country for the better.
restability.
But every single time, we've only gotten through those moments because of two things: engaged citizens and principled leaders.
And speaking of following rules,
Engaged
who
citizens
pardoned their
who do a little
coke-addicted
bit more than
son?
they're used to doing to fight
Their
for the things that they
son,
care about,
their entire
and principled
family,
leaders
for the
who are ready
next
to receive
5 or
the ball and
10
do
years to
something
come,
about it.
Fauci,
So thank you
a bunch
tonight
of other
for
people
caring about
in
your
the medical
country, just by
industry,
watching
and I forget
you
who else.
qualify as engaged citizens.
Yes, his
And I promise
brother
that I and my
and
fellow
a whole bunch of other
Democrats
people in his
will
family.
do everything in our power to be the principled leaders that you deserve.
Even though he said he
Good
wouldn't.
night, everyone.
He literally said on video he would not pardon his son.
Okay, you were just
And then he
listening
did.
there to Michigan Democratic Senator there, the freshman, Alyssa Slotkin, urging Democrats to keep engaged, rebutting some of the points made by President Trump there in this speech to a joint session of
I'm gonna say,
official
I'm being
rebuttal. We also
real.
have some responses going on as well live right now.
The shout outs with Trump and
Democrats
everything was much
to
better.
those in just a minute here. Remember,
Yeah, he knows how to give a speech, man, even though it was 2 hours long.
cut in there for Senator Slotkin. We were doing that
Uh,
with my colleague there.
it was much
Christina,
better.
who joins me yet again. Christina, thanks so much. You know.
All right, well, that was the
Here,
rebuttal.
but where were you? You were saying.
I'm gonna be real, I don't think that was a very good rebuttal. Because, I mean, like, where was this energy, like, 5 years ago? That's what I always think about. They're like, oh, yeah, but now we can make this great change. Like, where was that energy when you guys had all the power, bro? That's all I'm asking. I'm not, you know, like, where was that energy when you guys ran everything for, like, 8 years? You know, but now it's time to look alive and make things happen. That's what I hate. You know, now we will lower crisis. Now we will fill our border, fix our border. Now we will stop the Ukraine war. And see, that's what I'm saying. It's always that, like, they don't have that energy, because Biden, honestly, he ignored Putin. He refused to talk to Putin, put sanctions on him, and just ignored it. Like, so how was that supposed to fix anything? Nobody was bringing anything to the table. We're just sending money and weapons to keep the war funded. Like, where is the actual things that fix things and make it better for us, right? That's all I'm asking. Like, where was that energy before? Because they literally ran the world, you know? They were in charge under Biden. Everything shifted under this new policy for Trump. It's so crazy to me. But now it's the look alive, guys. We can fix it now. We can change it now. You know? It's crazy.